Okay, Darrell, I'm going to show you how to use GIMP to make that picture I made of you in my uncle's photo. He was a B-17 and a B-25 pilot in World War II. First thing you want to do is open GIMP. I keep it on my pinned to my taskbar here because it takes a long time, so it's running in the background. Because it takes a really long time to open, sometimes up to 5 minutes, because it's just this huge program. So I'm going to click on that. And then it's going to bring up these 4 windows. These are the only ones that you'll really need for most everything you do. If it doesn't bring all 3 of these other ones up, it'll bring this one up for sure. Go to Windows, click on Windows here. You want to click on Toolbox. And that gives you this, the toolbox. You really need that. Then go to Dockable Dialogues. You're going to want to click Tool Options. That gives you this. You're also going to want to click Dockable Dialogues Layers. And that gives you this guy right here. Okay, then you're all ready to start. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to open those 2 photos. So you go to File here, click on Open, and then you go to where the photos are. So I'm going to first click my uncle's picture, and then that should open that automatically. It may ask you to export it after it does that. I've already done that, so it won't ask me to do that this time. If it does, just click on Export. Then I'm going to open that picture of you. Let's see, that's Darrell here. So now I have the 2 pictures open, you and my uncle. First thing I'm going to do on this one is go to my uncle's, make sure that that's on top there. I'm going to click on Colors, and then I'm going to go to Desaturate. I'm going to click OK, and you can see it took that tint out of it, so it's now truly black and white. Then I'm going to go to yours, and I'm going to come over here to this. It's called a Free Select tool. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to just left click here. I just want to get your face. Then come over here, left click here. I'm going to come down. I want to get your ear just in case it's in there, and then just keep left clicking. I don't want to have your hand in there, so I'm going to click here, and then you go back to that first one. You click on that, and that selects that part of your face that I'm going to want to use. I'm going to move that out of the way. Then I'm going to do an edit, copy, go back to my uncle's picture. I'm going to do edit, and I'm going to do paste, and that pastes your image in there. Of course, it's too small and it's at the wrong angle and everything. So I'm going to go back to my toolbar first of all, and I'm going to click on this. It's the scale tool. I put that on your image, and that creates that grid, and I'm going to enlarge it. Now there are 2 ways to do it. You can either go to the scale tool option here, make sure that you click this so those 2 links are together, and then you can use either width or height, and you can see that it's expanding it, it's making it bigger. The easier way is just to use the drag handles. And then I'm going to click on Scale, and I'm going to move that into place just to see if it's about right. That's about right. You can play around with that until you get it right. Now if you go over here to the Layers window, you see there's this opacity slide bar. You can just slide that down, and you can get that opacity to change so that you can see both layers. And now here what I want to do is kind of make sure that the eyes, the mouth are all kind of lined up. Actually, I think I'm going to be using a bigger image of you. Then I want to get that in the proper alignment, so I want to go over here to my Rotate tool. I click on that, click on your image, and then I can just again rotate that using the grid. That's about right. Now I'm going to click on Rotate, That rotates it into place. Let me go back up to my opacity here, and I'm going to increase that, so I'm just going to see your face. That looks about right, but I'm going to just come over here to my move tool, and I'm just going to move that in position here a little better. Then I'm going to go over to the layers window where it says floating selection, and we'll make sure that's selected. And I'm going to go down here and click on create a new layer. That's what that does. Then I'm going to go to that, make sure that that's selected. I'm going to right click on that and go to add layer mask. That brings up this window. You want to make sure that white full opacity is selected. Click add. Now you want to go over to your eraser tool here and just click on that. Bring that tool options window open. And let's see how big that's a pretty small size brush. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to increase that to about 60, maybe more. Maybe 80, close to 80. Then all I have to do is go over this, and it erases anything in your picture that's not, that I don't want, that I want to bring out my uncle's picture. So I do this, and if you screw up, you can go up here to edit. I screwed up there. Go up to edit and do undo paintbrush, and I'm going to try again. And just keep doing this. Oops, made a mistake there, so undo paintbrush. And it's going to want to get this headgear there. And keep going until I've just gotten everything out that I don't want in there. And there's a little spot here I don't want. So that's about how I want it. Now I'm going to come back over to this layer, make sure it's selected. I'm going to right click and click on merge down. And there we go. I could have done a better job. And there are other tools. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to go over here to, it's called the smudge tool. I'm going to click on that. I'm just going to kind of smooth that out there. And maybe smooth this out a little bit. And that looks about how I like it. Your face is a little too big. But then you just go to view. No, I'm sorry. Go to image. Come down, you click on flatten image, and that gives you your photo. Then if you want to save it, okay, you go to file. I can overwrite one of those images. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to put on export as, and then I can just put in another name here for this. I'll call it comp for composite, and I'm going to save that to my desktop. I'm going to click on export and click on export again. Then I'm going to minimize these. I may want to come back to them, and then I'll look for that in my desktop.